Hey guys, Ash here from C4 Tech, and here's the OnePlus 7. It's taken a while, but we've got another big box to unbox, and in today's video, let's do just that. We again have the Go Beyond Speed tagline here, that's followed by a box with the usual never settle from OnePlus on top. Inside, we have a reviewer's guide. This is basically a book that has all the specs and other information about the OnePlus 7. Let me put that to the side. Next, we have another box that's full of cases for the OnePlus 7. There's sandstone and silicone red and nylon black. I'll try them out later. For now, let's get to the OnePlus 7. Slide the red ribbon off, open the box up. Where's the plastic, you ask? Well, my guy's kinda messed up the first shoot, so hey, we are reshooting it, kinda put everything back together. So no plastic, I'm being honest, just letting you guys know. Anyway, this box here, it's got a case too. This is what every consumer gets with the retail unit, a clear case. And then there is a SIM ejector pin, a couple of OnePlus stickers with some paperwork. Coming back to the OnePlus 7 itself, taking it out of the box and sliding the plastic wrapper off, here we have the OnePlus 7 in red. The glass back might be reflective, but I have to say, I really like this color. Let's put it into the case for now so that the black doesn't get covered with smudges. After that, we have this letter from Pete. Again, it's already ripped open because, like I said, we're reshooting it. This letter is a nice little personal touch that OnePlus gives out to each of its devices. I kinda do like that. Underneath, we have the new 20-watt dash charger, so 30 for the Pro, 20 for the regular 7. And finally, we've got the red Type-C cable. Now, there is no Type-C to headphone jack converter here either. Now, before we jump in and see more of the OnePlus 7, if you are liking what you've been seeing so far, please do subscribe and turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Now, the OnePlus 7 looks remarkably similar to the OnePlus 6T. Other than that camera housing, which now includes the flash, the rest of the phone looks quite identical. In hand, you can't even tell them apart. So I'm not gonna really spend time talking about the build and design here because frankly, the OnePlus 6T's design is something I'm sure you're familiar with. Instead, let's focus on what's changed. Those cameras. The primary camera here, it's been upgraded. It's the one from the OnePlus 7 Pro, the 48 megapixel Sony IMX586 sensor. It's combined with a f1.7 lens here though. Optically stabilized, of course. There's EIS as well. This seems to be a marked improvement over the 16 megapixel IMX519 from the OnePlus 6T. We have good color reproduction, nice amount of detail, and even the dynamic range is quite good. In fact, you can even see how much of a generational camera upgrade this is when you compare the images shot by both these cameras side by side. The pictures from the OnePlus 7 look more natural. Now the IMX586 on the OnePlus 7 takes 12 megapixel shots by default, but despite the lower megapixel count, images shot with the OnePlus 7 seem to have more detail. Just look at this flower. Now, we have a secondary 5 megapixel depth sensing unit on the 7, and when we compared edge detection between these two phones, I didn't really notice any difference. 5 megapixels, 20 megapixels doesn't seem to really matter. That said, OnePlus 7 still does come out with better looking pictures thanks to its more natural looking colors. Now the 20 megapixel secondary camera on the 6T is supposed to actually help out with low light performance, but the OnePlus 7's IMX586 does bend pixels. That is, it combines 4 pixels into one under low light situations to create larger pixels, making for improved low light performance. Here's the side by side. What do you think? How much better do you think the OnePlus 7 performs under low light? Let me know in the comments below. As far as selfies go, we have an upgraded IMX471 sensor from Sony here. The megapixel count remains the same and the pictures do look similar, although the OnePlus 7 again exhibits a little improved dynamic range. Now the next major change here for the OnePlus 7 is of course the internals. We now get the flagship Snapdragon 855 chip, just like we've seen on the OnePlus 7 Pro. Now it's paired with either 6 or 8 gigs of RAM and 128 or 256 gigs of storage, and OnePlus didn't cheap out here. They did go with UFS 3.0 even for the OnePlus 7. So this means everything feels extra snappy. The performance you get with the OnePlus 7 is quite similar to what you kind of get with the OnePlus 7 Pro. Now the 7 Pro, yes, it does have the 90Hz display that the 7 lacks. So there is some smoothness that you lose out here with the OnePlus 7. But then again, the 7 Pro has to push more pixels and handle the higher refresh rate, both of which the OnePlus 7 doesn't have to deal with. So it has a lighter load, and given how light OxygenOS is to begin with, the interface is really snappy. This here is OxygenOS 9.5 running on top of Android 9 Pie. The new features that we've seen with the OnePlus 7 Pro are all present and accounted for here. Glad to see OnePlus aren't playing favorites and the software experience remains on par. While not huge, there are a few other minor changes here for the OnePlus 7 from the 6T. For example, we now get stereo speakers. Yep, the grill here for the earpiece is bigger and the earpiece itself doubles as a secondary speaker. The Type-C port, it's been upgraded to USB 3.1 Gen 1 from USB 2, so transfer rates and even USB charge speeds should be higher. And finally, the in-display fingerprint scanner, it's supposed to be larger, and coupled with new algorithms, OnePlus claims it's faster, and it does feel that way. Now for the final change, that's pricing. With the OnePlus 7, for the first time ever, OnePlus have actually dropped the price between generations. And the OnePlus 7, it starts at $32,990 for the 6/128 variant. Now remember, everything else that we've loved from the OnePlus 6T, whether it's that large and vibrant 6.41-inch optic AMOLED screen, or that non-IP rated water resistance, or that Gorilla Glass protected front and back, the premium build, it's all the same here. It's pretty much the same phone, but much better at a much cheaper price point, and that makes the OnePlus 7 one of the most interesting phones of the year. So anyway, I'm gonna continue testing the OnePlus 7 out, and I'll kind of have more to say in my full review. In the meantime, what do you guys think? Do you think the reason OnePlus cut the price is due to expectations of a Poco F2 or the Redmi K20 Pro? If you want my take on that, here's a card to that video. I actually have a dedicated video on that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also down there is a link to my current K20 and K20 Pro giveaway. Check that out if you haven't yet. And with that, we get to the end of this video. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about it. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.